So in the earlier contract, what you have seen is up till here. You have the set function and the get function being executed. So that was it in the previous, and you saw how to deploy your contract, how to get connected with Web3 and everything. So what we can do now, we can just go and change this. Just delete this, the whole thing. Okay, so now we'll change this example function as it has got changed out here in the simple storage.sol. It will also be changed in the simple storage.json due to this thing, the migration part. Now let's change it. So what we can do is we can keep a, okay, firstly we'll go for the price. So how much price or how many ethers do you want to send? So this is one. I won't write anything. I'll just let you know what to write. Next up, we have the const. Let's say a variable known as res or the response, you can call it also. For now, just call it as, okay, you can call it as receipt. So next, what we can write it as await. You can see that this is in the async function. So you can use the await keyword. So await, and how you deployed it earlier, await contract dot methods. Then what was the name of the function? Send ether. Then you can use the call. So what this call will do, this will only read the transaction, or it will only read from the blockchain. It won't change or modify any data in the blockchain. So what we can do is we'll use the send method right now. So with the send, you need to send some arguments as form of JSON. So this is your JSON notation. Now you will have to send from. What is your from address? Let's say accounts of 0, then comma. Then next up we'll have the price or the value. How much value you want to send. So value will be equal to price. Now we'll initialize this price to how much you want to send. And most importantly, remember that whatever you send out here is in way and not in ether. One ether is 10 power 18 way. So you have to write 1 and then 18 zeros. But the main problem with that is JavaScript won't allow that much length of a number directly. So you can do it in two ways. Either you can just make it into like a big number notation, or you can use it as a string. So let's see. So we will use the web3.utils, which is the utils is basically the helper functions, you can say. So there are a lot of functions which will help us out. Let's see. So web3.utils. I'm actually not familiar with the big number bn because I always use the string notation, but then I'll try it for you. So bn, and then you have to specify 18 zeros, 3, 6, 9, 12, 16. Okay, so this way, this is getting you the price right now as ethers with a big number notation, and then you will send it out here. Next up, you will check for the identifier we have mentioned. So we'll get to know which function has been executed. So let's say const, let's go for response is equal to await. And obviously, as you remember, that if you have a public variable, it has a getter function of its own. So you can just directly name the identifier or the variable and you give the parenthesis. So this will act as a getter function for that, and then dot call. So I guess this much is clear, and then we'll just console log the response. So let's try with only this much, not anything extra. Let's try with this much only. Go to your cd client, then cd src, and then node app.js. So a lot of things are out here. Okay, so basically this underscore init is not a function. So this thing failed out here, the bn thing. I'll let you know how to work with this bn. This is happening due to all this. Yeah, I guess it should be like this. I'll check once. I'm not sure with the bn, but I'll show you with the string if this doesn't work. Okay, the bn is creating some problems. I'll just change it back. Okay, so right now you can see this price is in a string, which is 10 power 18. Let's try with this one. So this is for 1 ether. Okay, cool. So I'll let you know the bn function. So here you can see the const price is this much. You want to send 1 ether, which is actually in way right now. Then the const receipt. So here you are calling the method send ether, and you are sending to the account from this account 0, to the and the value is given into the send ether function. So the value is basically this much, 1 ether, and then you get a receipt. This receipt is basically when you do any transaction, you get a receipt. It's the same thing. So, and then you're calling the identifier to check what has come up, like which function has been called. Let's see out here the console log. So this is the basically the contract instance. These are the accounts which were listed. So we need to check out here the send ether got called. So that means the send ether function got called, and the identifier this ident is returning send ether got called. Now what is this receipt thing? So receipt thing, as I told you, is what you get after a transaction. So let's check out this one also. Okay, send ether got called. You have the receipt. In the receipt, you have a transaction hash, you have a transaction index, you have the block hash, you have the block number, from which address it is sent, to which address. This is the contract address I'm having. This, the gas used, the cumulative gas used, and some logs. No events there, so no events registered right now.